Good week, everyone. Hi, everyone. It's Monday. It's the start of a great week. Hope everyone had a great weekend. My name is Patrick. I am the community manager for Gate.io, a top 10 exchange, cryptocurrency exchange. I'm here for all your worries, your concerns, your feedback, your good thoughts, your bad thoughts, your heavy thoughts, your emotional thoughts. I'm here for you so you can, tell me what you think is going on at the exchange, what you think we can do better. That's what I'm here for. I'm to make sure that everyone's happy. In a nutshell, I do a whole lot more, obviously, but that's the most important thing for you guys to know. I hope everyone had a great weekend. It was super interesting to see and super exciting too to see that basically BTC plus alts took went on quite a ride in the weekend. Weekend generally is a period of downward pressure and not a lot of action happening, and if anything, markets selling off a little bit. But this time the trend persisted. So I'm a noob, not in the sense of being in crypto, but I'm a trading noob. I've been in crypto since 2015. I have pretty good understanding of how markets in general work, and I've done a lot of research and reading about Bitcoin. But as for trading analysis and all kinds of analyses on the sides of trading, I'm a noob. But even for me as a noob, as a trading noob, I see that on the weekend, if the trend is persisting, in an upward direction, and coins or tokens are significantly accruing in value, that's a bullish signal, regardless of the fact that we are not anywhere near the trend of 2017 of people looking for Bitcoin. So it's institutional interest. There'll be some whale manipulation, but there's institutional interest, which has propelled the price, which is just giving us more exposure. It's bullish in general, especially if you're holding alts. Now, if you're a BTC guy and you're holding BTC or girl, lady, sorry, you're also doing well. But alts historically have outperformed whatever your opinion or your opinion is of the matter. Historically, historically they've outperformed BTC. But that being said, you do need to be aware that a lot of alt projects die, a lot of tokens, a lot of tokens, don't make it, because it's hard to survive a bear market with perhaps one initial investment. You got all these costs working on your team, but part of your value in most of the cases of the the ICOs of 2017 and any project which had gathered some funds, it is based on how the price does, because that's what you use, the allocation part you use to pay the salaries of the developers and to do your promotion and do the marketing. So if the price goes down, it's a little bit hard to keep your company going. That on a side note, let me see here. Let me just grab something, 2 seconds, guys. We were talking about how generally these are very exciting times and alts are about to take off, right? There's a lot of institutional interest. BTC is taking off, and people who believe or want to, sell the Bitcoin is the only coin, Bitcoin is king narrative, alts are dead narrative. That's a pretty naive narrative. If you look at the historical performance of alts, besides projects which are dead and which have, besides projects which were scams or which were not very well thought out of, there are a lot of alternative projects in this really super new 11-year-old space, 12-year-old space, which have done really, really well and are going to continue to do really well. So for you to deny that might not be a very smart move. If your goal is accumulating more BTC, why not use alts to accumulate more BTC, right? What goes against that? That being said, so alts are doing super well at this moment. Everything's in green, but that can change any moment. And we've got a really, really cool contest, which we started today. We're doing 5 days of it, where it's going to be a real alt battle. Obviously, you haven't allocated all of your portfolio into one basket, because that wouldn't be very smart. However much conviction you have for Link or for Tezos, for XRP, it wouldn't be very smart to allocate everything into one project. That's just a general trading rule. You can be a noob and still understand that general trading rule. Never put it all into Bitcoin either, because that's just as stupid. You should allocate into gold. You should own some real estate, have some public stock, whatnot. But it's a bad idea. That being said, our alt battle is all about you notifying us, letting us know which alt you think is gonna go 300,000, 5,000x. It's possible. It's happened in the past, in 2021. Because if you do, you tag the ticker of your choice, you write down the hashtag of your project, you let us know in one sentence what this project is going to do and why it's going to do so well in 2021, you're going to be able to win some really cool GT prizes. We're going to award people every day, and we're just going to use a randomizer, a random tool to select winners. Obviously, we're going to have to see if you follow all the rules, and the main rules are, well, the most obvious one is you got to sign up to Gate.io. You got to be Gate.io user. You have to hashtag alt battle. You have to tag the ticker of the coin, tag 2 friends, retweet the tweet, and let us know in one sentence why you think your specific alt is going to moon. You're going to have many opportunities to do this. You can tag multiple coins in your tweet, in the comment. But let's say you're not chosen today, the chances are you can randomly win tomorrow as well. But obviously, the more times you participate, the higher your chances are of winning. We're starting off with a prize of, I think, like 70 GT. It's going to go up all the way to 300 GT, was about 150 USDT on Friday. I would definitely participate, definitely have a look, because the graphics which have been made by our design team are also really amazing. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. I was also talking about how a lot of news has been going on. Not a lot of significant things have been going on, because normally the space is surrounded by super good corporation news or super interesting VCs, traditional finance, hedge funds getting into crypto, or hacks, and FUD and whatnot. There's nothing much in between. At this moment, there's not a lot happening, and that's also like a nice relaxed sign. It means things are stable. There's no any bad news about Tether. Obviously, there is bad news because there are always people spreading FUD about it, and it's something to be aware of. Just take it with a grain of salt, and do your own due diligence. That's the most important thing. Of course, Bitcoin will rise to new highs. That's a bit too much conviction, huh? Of course it will. I think it will. I think there are a lot of reasons to assume, with all these inflationary assets such as the euro and the USDT, that the technological proponents of BTC, the fact that it's there's 21 million, that it's decentralized, it's immutable, it's on the blockchain. The fact that all these reasons apply to it as money, as a unit of account or a means of exchange, means that it will get value in the future. It's the reason that Michael Saylor, invested so much into it, because of the technological framework or infrastructure of Bitcoin itself. Everyone is incentivized to participate in the network by either purchasing it, holding it, or mining it. But as a store of value, it's deflationary. So it will in most cases outperform your fiat asset of your country. These are all reasons to assume that it will gain new highs, in 50K, 100K, who knows? Some people, are calling this magic 1 million number. Do your due diligence, take it with a grain of salt, but there are a lot of reasons to assume that it will do really well in the future. Obviously, there's always an event of a black swan. There can always be an event of a black swan. A black swan can be that we no longer have electricity, which beats the entire purpose of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Because if you have no electricity, besides the fact that you can't do any basic things to survive, there won't be any internet either. That's the kind of black swan I'm talking about. I'm not talking about governments intervening, because governments generally are imposing lots of regulation, and it seems like they are willing to facilitate an environment where Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are regulated, obviously for their own benefit too, so they are able to track and tax it. But it's better than, banning it or trying to outlaw middlemen. That's the only thing they can do. They can outlaw middlemen. So they can go to exchanges and say, you're going to have to shut down. You can't service any users anymore in the European Union, or, we're going to they can subpoena them to give them the service, access to their servers and whatnot. These are all very far-fetched events, but they can still happen. So however much conviction I have that the price will be 50 to 100K, you always have to keep in mind that you might want to allocate some of your funds into gold, or you might want to buy some property, or you might want to buy public stocks, because after all, we're only 10 years into this industry, and it's still the Wild West, right? You can be in this industry for 5 years and still not understand a thing of a new. Let's say you can be 5 years in the space and learning a lot about it and having a lot of knowledge, and then all of a sudden DeFi comes around and you're having to learn about all these really super complicated smart contracts and protocols and all forms of lending and arbitrage and whatnot. It's a very innovative and exciting space, but it's not easy to comprehend. So it's going to take some time before people catch on and know what's happening. So not a lot of news. PayPal 2 weeks ago, some hacks 2 weeks ago. If you look at the news at this moment, really nothing is going on. BTC is crazy. Coinbase was down, which is like a bit of a running meme, but it's fun because it also means that Bitcoin is doing really, really well. However, you got to scratch your head a little bit at a company which is valued at so much, at such a high capital, or such a high amount. You got to wonder why they go down. Why they go down. They obviously have a gazillion users. You got to wonder why they don't have the mainframe to facilitate all these users. I remember Kraken back in the day, 2017, 2016, when the bull market was taking off, and there's really these crazy parabolic moves. They had a lot of trouble with facilitating all these users, and the site was constantly down, and they were at that moment making sure that everything was secure and everything was working. They've made a really cool platform now, and they made a really cool app. So that's in preparation for the next bull market and for all these hundreds of thousands of people who are going to sign up. But you'd expect Coinbase to do that. They're not doing that. Also very promising. So the most significant thing I'm getting at this moment in time is that this might be the quiet before the storm, and the storm in the sense that it's a good kind of storm, where there's a lot of value creation, a lot of wealth creation, where we see some crazy developments. Even if there's not, it doesn't really matter, because it's still a confirmed bullish trend, and there would have to be a lot of crazy stuff to reverse this trend, right? For now, it's a bullish trend, and there's a lot of indicators showing that we're going to remain in this bullish trend. Because there's not a lot of news, generally, we also don't have a lot of news. Like, I don't have a lot of news to tell you at this moment. Let's see. So what we've been focusing a lot on, because we've seen that perpetual contracts have been doing super well on Gate.io. There's so much demand for them, and the trading volume is, I think it's like half a billion at the moment. There's so much interest. We're just expanding on our ETF and perpetual contract products. So we've added OMG network, Algorand waves for leveraged ETFs. You can go 3x short, 3x long. We've added Conflux network for our perpetual contracts. This obviously for traders, obviously not for you. If you're not sure what you're doing, or you're new to the space, you definitely don't want to start messing with leverage, because that's a great way to lose all your funds. And generally, So BCHA has also been added to a perpetual contract. Oasis network, which has the ROSE ticker, we've added that for perpetual contracts as well. I can trade on leverage. I think these are all up to 20x, which is more than enough. Anything above 20x, you got to be either some OG, old school 2013 trader, with super knowledge and 10 algorithms working for you. or you're just going to be willing to lose all your funds. We've introduced something called callable bull bear contracts, which is another financial product which goes way beyond my understanding of anything within trading. But that's interesting if you're in the trading niche, because we have all I know for sure is that we have a top-notch matching engine, and trading executions on Gate.io are amongst the highest in the industry. So they're doing really well. We have the cheapest maker and taker fees. That's a fact. So yeah, definitely check that out. We've listed Alpaca City. That's interesting because that's where DeFi meets NFTs. And not only is that interesting for the project, which it is, it might remind you a little bit of CryptoKitties. It's also super interesting because we're doing this huge giveaway of 15K Alpa airdrop in several forms. So there's like an airdrop bonus for the users, which you could have got for voting. Then you can get a reward, an Alpa reward for depositing. It's all random, right? So it doesn't guarantee, you're not guaranteed that you're going to get a prize, but if you invite friends with your referral link, you're going to get an airdrop of Alpa too. There are Twitter rewards, which we're organizing using Gleam. And there's also going to be a Telegram AMA event coming really soon. So check that out. There's one for Alpa. That's going to last until when? Let me see. I think it's until the 6th of December, but I'm not entirely sure. It's going to take a while because it's a big amount, so we want to give everyone a fair shot in participating and making sure they can get their share of the airdrop. There's also a really cool event from ROOBEE, which has recently been listed on Gate.io. It's the final day. It's the last day. We did a cooperation with them where you could win up to 3,000. How much was it? Let me see. Yeah, 5K worth of ROOBEE. It's ending tomorrow. Head over to our announcements, Gate.io on a desktop, because that's the best way to see it. Click on announcements, and then you can read all about our the ways you can participate to win some ROOBEE. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just focused on perpetual contracts, ETFs, expanding, callable bull bear contracts for people in the trading niche. And as for our crypto tips, the same thing every week because it's just so important. BTC is breaking out. You might notice you're getting a lot of scam attempts, scam contact attempts in your inbox on Twitter or LinkedIn, people trying to introduce you to algorithm bot trading, want to invite you to a special investment. Anything that sounds too good to be true or sounds a lot like bullshit is going to be bullshit. You can trust me on that one. We're going to get into a phase of more volatility. So it's if anything, it's a time to be less emotional and work on your long-term conviction skills, your conviction mindset for 2021, 22, 23, the years to come. Because if you don't do that and you see that the price is swinging, you're going to make some peculiar choices. You might sell when you shouldn't, and obviously it's all at your own. It's at your disposal what you do. More scammers, more shillers. Make sure that whatever you read, you take with a grain of salt. And it's going to be a very, very fun time because there are going to be projects now, fighting for a number one spot in the DeFi space, for number one spot as an altcoin. So there's going to be patterns coming back from 2017, which we haven't seen for a long time, and people are going to be, shocked about them in that sense that they're going to outperform again. Certain tokens from 2017 projects are going to die, unfortunately. Projects are going to be hacked as well, unaudited. Smart contracts. They're most likely going to get flash loans, as this has happened in the past. It's not a very positive or optimistic note. It's just stating the facts. There's all these new cool products, but there are also a lot of hackers, a lot of people, so-called malicious actors, who have the time to, and also who are enough incentivized to get into a smart contract and drain these pools because the reward is so freaking high. On that note, I hope everyone has a great week. Enjoy the price swings, enjoy the market. Check out the contest which we have going on at the moment. The tweet has been pinned to our profile. You can win anything from up to 69 to 300 GT at the end of the week. So let us know which alts you think are going to moon. I'm sure you have an alt bag ready, and I'm sure it's not going to be one alt because it shouldn't be. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.